Welcome back, everyone. My name is Rachel Gonzalez, and I am a recovering perfectionist, just trying to become more like Jesus and, just live in God's perfect will for my life. And so I am so happy you're here watching my channel. I'm really excited to share today because I'm going to be talking about my 2024 goals, and a lot of that has to do with my faith. And there's a couple of things that I really want to share today, but I don't know if I'll get to or not. This is really more so just talking about my goals, and then there will be videos coming up about probably a few of them um, that will make more sense as time goes on. So, a few things that I wanted to share is just how I made my goals for this year. I don't really do resolutions. Last year I did a word of the year, which I talked about in my last video, which my word of the year was pray. I'm definitely going to continue bringing that into 2024 with me. And so a lot of the things that I'm going to try to do are going to revolve around prayer and just being more in the word and trying to really live my life peacefully um, as I become, you know, like I said, more like Christ, living in God's will for my life, and really just following what I think He requires of me. So, um, the first thing that was really cool, my husband and I this year, this is the first year we did this, and I'm hoping something I suggested to him was maybe we would exchange Bibles at Christmas. And so he got me the She Reads Truth Bible, and it looks like this. It has my name on it. He got my name there. Um, and so I'm really excited about this because I have never written in a Bible before. And so actually in this Bible, I wrote my goals for this year, and I'm going to start taking it with me to church. I've already done the past 2 Sundays, started taking it with me to church to really, actually write notes and things like that as I'm listening to the pastor speak. While I was pregnant, I had a really hard time staying awake in church, which is embarrassing, but I was just so tired all the time. And we would get there and I would try and I would be awake and I'd be like, yes, I'm going to stay awake. And then all of a sudden, Jose would nudge me, you're snoring. So this year I'm going to be really taking notes and just, newborn mom life. I can't be falling asleep in church anymore. Okay. So that excuse only goes so far. So I have my goals for this year written down at the beginning of my Bible, and please excuse my nails because I haven't had them done recently. And then, like I said, I am starting to kind of take notes every week. Um, just to kind of remember what was talked about, what my prayers are for that. A lot of times when I go to church, I feel like the pastor is literally speaking right to me. And I think that that happens a lot of times when people go to church. Um, and so I want to remember, what did I get out of that message? How did it impact my life? And then, kind of be able to look back on that, not even just after this year, but in years and years to come, or like, have these Bibles on my shelves like this, that my kids can actually see, like, oh, my mom, prayed these prayers and these prayers came to fruition, or these were her prayers and this is how much better it was because we went with God's plan instead, So just really cool to kind of see that. So I'm hoping for that, and I'm hoping that him and I will continue the tradition of getting a Bible for each other each year and then using it for the following year and writing in it and stuff. Like I said, prayers, prayer requests from people, scriptures that stick out, things like that. So that's kind of how I'm using my Bible this year. Um, and then I'm going to share my goals with you. So the ones that I have written at the front, this is kind of a resolution. And it's going to be very difficult for me. It already has been difficult for me. And like I think I said in my last video, I felt like the devil was attacking me last week. I had high hopes for all these things, all my goals that I had written down. And then I just felt like attack, 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 because I wasn't able to do any of it, the first couple of days. And I am the kind of person, perfectionist, who it has to happen, like in my timeline when I want it to. If it doesn't happen like this, then I don't want to do it at all. I'm definitely with that, like with dieting, if I had a cookie, well, my diet's ruined, so I might as well just have all the cookies, That's kind of how I am. I'm an all or nothing person. So I'm really struggling with that, and I am working toward getting over it. So the first week of 2024, I did not do very well with my resolution and my goals, but it's the first week, and, an adjustment period to this year. So, my first one is I want to speak only kind words of my children and my husband this year. And I'm hopeful that that will continue forever. But, I felt like last year the boys had a really hard year, and this year is no different. It's literally 1 week later, it's no different. That their behavior was just hard to deal with, and I said a lot of things about them that I feel guilty about, um even if I still feel like I mean them. They were just bad, they were being bad. And so I want to make sure that I'm only speaking kind things about them. So instead of, really focusing on their poor behavior or whatever, I just want to focus on the things that we can do differently, or that are great about them. And I'm hoping, my hope is that as I speak kind words about them and I say, you are um, helpful, you are kind, you are smart. As I say those things to them, I just really pray that they will live up to those things. Because a lot of times when Jose and I are frustrated, we will say things like, "You're being so bad," or "You were not a good boy today." And I don't like saying that to them because it's not true, and I know it's not true. It's just sometimes we get frustrated a lot. And so I'm going to try very hard to speak kinder things over them and to them and of them, even around other people when they're not around. I just want to be better about that. And the same with my spouse, because Jose is a wonderful husband and he is a wonderful father, and I get frustrated a lot, a lot. And just for things that, like, either I didn't communicate, or that it just didn't work out. So, something happened, or um sometimes he just really is clueless to what needs to be done or what I need from him. So I want to be kinder to him, and I want to speak kind words to him and of him. That doesn't mean that I probably won't share with my friends and things, like things that are hard or like when I need support in, but I really just don't want to be saying anything negative about him, like, he's lazy or something like that, because those things are not true. And he always calls me out when I say, "You always do this," or "You never do this." And he goes, "Really? Never? I always," and I do say things like that. So I need to stop doing that as well. But really just kind words about my family. And then the other thing is this kind of correlates with it and ties back to my word of the year from last year, which is I want to pray first when I get frustrated. And that is to say that, like, if I feel myself getting hot and heated and I'm going to say something that I don't mean or that I shouldn't say, I want to take it to God and ask for help, strength, whatever I need in the moment, and then address it. Because sometimes I can do this, and the conversations that I have with Jose or with my children go a lot better when I do this. So if I can do that consistently, I feel like things would be better. It'd be easier to use kind words and all of that. So that's kind of my resolution piece. Um, my goals are, well, they have a lot to do with things that are going to be changing in my life over the next year. And again, I don't know if I'm really ready to share those things, but I can share a couple of things that I really want to do this year. One is I want to make a YouTube video each week of what's going on in our lives, because last year I used, and I wanted to show y'all the things that I'm going to be using this year as well, but um, I used this prayer journal um, each week, and it was kind of hard to do it weekly, um, because there was no accountability. It was just like if I did it, I knew I did it, and I obviously love having it. It's I highly recommend this because it has each week a Bible verse, which I would each week write down and then I would stick it on my mirror. And then it also has like some reflection questions. So you just read the question and it goes along with the scripture and then you journal about it. And I thought that was really nice. And then also it has this kind of format where it has like a place to say thank you, what you want, teaching, guide me, highlights from the week, prayer requests, things like that. And so that really helped me to be praying. I would, text my friends and stuff and ask them, hey, what can I be praying for you for? Or I would just have sticky notes up and, pray about the things that hadn't come to fruition yet or hadn't been answered. And then, that just really helped me like focus my intent on like what I needed to be praying about for the week. I would notice, oh, I've been really anxious about this thing. I'm going to write it down here. And there are some things that have been in this book every single week for the whole year of 2023, and they're still not answered yet. So that, it's like looking back on that, it's like, okay, this is still in the works, but there are some things where I look back, I was just looking through it before I started the video and I was like, oh my goodness, like I can't believe I was praying for that in July and then it, came to fruition. So just really cool to look back at those things. And so I really do, like I said, I highly recommend this book. I got a different version of it for this year. It's more of a planner. And so, like I said, to do the videos, I think will be a little bit easier for me. Not necessarily finding the time for it because right now it's 10 p.m. on a Sunday and I should be sleeping, but I really want to commit to this to be able to look back on these videos and see how our life has progressed through the year. And then also, like I said, to share our lives and our testimony with others, especially our friends and family. So I think this is going to be easier for me in terms of just getting things out because writing is not my strong suit. I feel like I'm kind of good at it sometimes, but um, it's more of a, honestly, it's more of a chore for me. Whereas I feel like just talking, I can literally talk all day. Sometimes I'm probably going to be frustrated if I mess up on a video and then I have to re-record it or try to edit it in some way, which that's a goal of mine too. It's not written down for this year, but eventually someday I would like to get good at like photography and editing videos and stuff like that, but that's a long-term goal. So this year I would like to record one video per week every week on YouTube. And that is baseline goal. So, like I said, it might not be pretty, it might not be edited great, but I'm going to record myself and I'm going to be able to come back and look back on these. At the end of the year, will I continue a YouTube channel? I don't know. But I will have a year full of videos from our lives that I can share with my kids or with my friends and anyone else on the internet who wants to watch this. So then I have this planner that I bought, and like I said, it's a little bit different. So it doesn't have the reflection piece, but it does still have the same format where it has the scripture and then it has the thank yous, teach me, guide me, and then it's just for the month. So you just do it for the month. And then the week looks like this. I guess it's backwards on here, sorry, but this is what it looks like. You can write highlights from each week and your prayer requests for each week, but the actual this part is just for 1 month. So I think it's a little bit more manageable. I think I'll be able to do this. My husband and I sat and wrote like our meal plan on here yesterday. And then I'll just write like events that are happening that week so that him and I can discuss. And then I kind of think I think I'm going to leave it open on the counter so that way each day we can know like what's going on that day and meals and things like that and any, special stuff that's happening. And then also because the prayer requests are there, we can constantly be reminded of what we should be praying for. So, that's a goal, stay organized. um, and then do my YouTube videos. Um, one that I can share with you, this is a really silly goal for me, but I want to buy a new cell phone in 2024. I have an iPhone 8. I don't even know where it is. It's an iPhone 8. It still has the home button on it. Okay. So I don't even have the, swipe or tap or whatever. I don't have the facial recognition. Like I literally just have a phone with a button. And everyone makes fun of me for it. It's probably like 5 years old now, probably coming up on 6 years old. And the picture is terrible. And I really want a new cell phone. However, my cell phone still functions fine. And I'm a very practical person. So I'm the kind of person who's like, well, it's functionable and it's like working for me. So I don't really know why I would get a new one. Also, I really do love the home button. And, I'm basically a grandma. So here I am saying I don't want to have to relearn, all these different things. But pictures and photography and videos are so important to me that I feel like having such a crummy phone for pictures and photography is just it's not working for me anymore, and I want something better. So my goal is to bite the bullet and go ahead and buy a phone this year. But one of our other goals my husband and I have for this year is to become debt free. It has been on my vision board since 2022. I want to do the debt free scream. We sometimes listen to Dave Ramsey's podcast and I love it. And I hear these people and I'm like, we can do that. So that is a huge goal for us this year. One of the major things that I'm going to be talking about coming up on a video soon is going to hopefully help us with that. But I can't really talk about it yet. I just don't really want to. I want to do like a whole video on it. So that is going to be another one of my goals that I'll talk about in a future video. And hopefully we will be able to do that debt-free screen by the end of this year. So I'm saying it now in the second week of January that I want to be debt-free by December 31st of 2024. And if I can come back, at the end of the year and look at this and say, I did that, I will be so happy. So, just be on the lookout for what we're doing to hopefully help with that. And then, maybe I'll buy a cell phone if we're debt free and I can afford it after that. But I mean, the debt free I think comes first, and then being able to afford a new cell phone with a fantastic camera would be amazing. So, all things that we will be praying for and praying over, and hopefully just, if we just continue to walk in the will of the Lord, I believe that, we'll be able to have the things that we would like to have. But I'm also okay when God says no, and we just move on. So we'll see what happens. I really think that that's all I can share for today. I have these last two goals that I want to share are going to be future videos. So I'll kind of hold on to those. But like I said, I mean, my husband bought me this She Reads Truth Bible, the prayer journal for women. Love. I will let you know at the end of the year or middle of the year or sometime how much I really like this. I'm hoping that with making the videos, that will kind of replace my journaling and reflecting. So we'll just kind of see how it goes. But I'm so happy to have y'all along with me. There is a Bible verse that I wanted to read today that my pastor actually talked about this morning. He was talking about, like, you don't need to be a new you and all of these things, right? And so basically, from Romans 12, it is Romans 12:2. Do not be conformed to this age, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, so that you may discern what is the good, pleasing, and perfect will of God. And so that I think just resonates with what I want this channel to be, just following the will of God, all of my goals just aligning with what He wants for our lives. And as this year unfolds, we will see how it all works out. So thanks again for being here. I think I'm supposed to now tell you to subscribe to my channel if you want to know when I make new videos. I'm not sure how that works, but we're all figuring it out together. So thanks for being here. We'll see you next time.